Alright, quick little guide on how to get Darkmoon Faire in 2024 and essentially how to make it as safe as possible. Obviously there are ways that you could still potentially get griefed, but this is the safest way that I know. So what we're starting off, you don't need to have a specific summon anywhere in Mulgore. You can, just take the boat from Crossroads and just make your way into Mulgore. Essentially what I'm using here is gonna be a summon location in Mulgore that is, safe for me to take care. What I would be starting off just to make sure is, make sure your PvP is on no. Should I say your PvP disabled here. What you could do, you could, fly to instantly remove it. The location that I'm currently in here is just one of the example locations in the world where it's essentially a no zone or an unknown zone. But mind it, you could always just run from Crossroads or should I say Barrens directly into Mulgore. You don't need to be summoned. This is just for the ease of it. This location right here is just close to a drop-off point to run all the way. You can still get griefed, walking to it, but it doesn't matter. So what you are essentially trying to do here is you're just trying to make your way down from this location. Of course, if you're running from Barrens, that is entirely fine as well. I'm just gonna showcase this. So what you would be doing here is either you would use your other character that can, queue you up for a BG, or you would use a friend who has a 60 character, or, a guildmate who has a 60 character. You would hold off with queuing up for the BG just yet, but as soon as we get closer and closer to the camp, right, that is when you want to do the queuing up. As soon as I get here, we can start as if I already queued up. So your friend queues you up now, you try to die, as close to the Sage NPC that would be located in this position. This of course being the Alliance way of taking it. Just gonna kill myself just for showing this. So essentially you would be already queued up for BG, usually there's Horde here killing, etc. So you're gonna end up dead majority of the time. If there's no one here, obviously, then you just wait for the BGQ and then you can take it. Either way, right now you're essentially just running back while queued up for BG. And if you're playing on a server where you have instant BGQs in your faction, of course what you can do is the person who queued you up in the city could temporarily log off. There is a timer for when your PvP group leader would pass over to your own dead character. If that would happen, then you would have to restart this queuing. Essentially, if you get the lead, then it won't properly work. You need someone else to have the lead during the queuing up. Either way, he can temporarily log off while you run back into position, and as soon as you get close to the camp for the buff, then he would just log in. That way, the BGQ is going and you could potentially get a BG pop whenever. What you're gonna be seeing me do when I get over there is I'm gonna be using a Flask of Petrification. Of course, making me immune to any kind of damage. So as soon as the BG pop happens, you'll see exactly what I would be doing. What you could have, assuming that you have a Horde character here scouting for the buff, is that you could have them already pre-target Sage. So let's say that this character is already targeting Sage, I would use the target of targets to see Sage, because they could be blocking the actual NPC with a bunch of Horde characters. And of course, we always have the interacts with target keybind. That way you don't need to right click anything when it comes to it. So target Sage in the first hand, and then when your BG pop happens, all you're doing is you're using Resurrect now and instantly using Petrification. Now, when you're in this state, you talk with Sage, you get the buff, boom, now you have the buff, and you accept the BGQ. This will put you, right back into either Warsong Gulch, Alterac Valley, or Arati Basin. Assuming that it's an ongoing BG, what you could do is you could instantly do /AFK. This will bring you out of the BG, and as soon as you're in the city, you would just essentially do log off. What you could do then is you do on your Horde character, you just open up your Who tab, you check if it's Stormwind, is there any character there? And if there's none, all you do is you unboon and reboon safely on your Alliance character, essentially logging in and rebooting it. If you're in an entirely new BG, like a new AV or a new AB or a new Warzone, you could just unboon, reboon instantly there. There is something that could happen, and that is in Warzone Gulch. There are ways for the other faction to get out of the starter zone for, let's say, a Horde side, and they could potentially be waiting for you to do this. So I would be cautious in Warzone Gulches if you're in the starting zone, it hasn't properly started, but there could be people around you, potentially killing you instantly. But that is essentially the safest way to do it. You would be able to unboon and reboon relatively safely. And that is about the best way that I've figured out to take it. Essentially, you're never in trouble as long as you're on Sage, since you're not picking it unless you're already in the flask. If you die before, then you just do the same thing again. You know, your friend queues you for BG, and you just, you know, essentially take the buff whenever you're in a position to take it while already in petrification. But that is about it.